Hey, this is Notzer, and this is the Tier 6 U.S. destroyer Farragut. Got 4 guns, 8 torpedoes, 37 knots, pretty good AA. So, the Farragut and a lot of U.S. destroyers, they just can't use their torpedoes like Japanese destroyers can. The combination of detection range and the range of the torpedoes makes it very difficult to be able to send a torpedo that could damage any vessel higher tier than you, like a cruiser or a battleship, because they're just too threatening. You get too close and you're unstealthed, and it's just very dangerous. So usually U.S. destroyers have to rely on their cannons. So at the start of the game, I went to the 8 line. This is usually an attack path of the enemy, and it appears none of them wanted to go that way, at least right now. So I'm not going to move forward. Whole goal is to just locate an enemy that has wandered too close and take him down. So looks like, the team's pretty defensive for me. We've got a friendly destroyer going up the 9 and 10 line. An enemy scout plane is scouting over the island. This is what scout planes are for. Do not use the scout plane immediately at the start of the game. That's a waste of the cooldown. You want to use it when there's an island that might be in the way, or you need extra range to detect destroyers if they could be in the area. So 5 enemies have filled up the A line. It's a little too full for me, so I'm looking to find maybe an enemy has decided to try the 6 line. I'm definitely not going to be able to kill that battleship. So, wow, I never noticed that there's a ship that's like beached. Wow, that's pretty cool. So yeah, keep turning around. This friendly cruiser has taken pretty good damage from the enemies. We've apparently killed an enemy cruiser. Seems like there's probably a destroyer in that smoke somewhere. And the torpedoes were sent out and they miss. So this enemy destroyer is just sitting up against the island. He's probably hoping that some bozo will go around the island and he'll have torpedoes to send towards you that are hidden until the very last second. So this enemy American destroyer appears to be gonna run aground. And he's wiped out. So, 2-0. It's looking good. We've got control of our base. There's no enemy that's penetrated deep. We've got an enemy destroyer that's over by their base. Granted, he'll probably die because he's all alone. But when there's no carrier on the map, it really becomes a slugfest. I think the balance of power goes towards battleships. They've got so much health, so much range, and it's really hard to engage them effectively without using other battleships or heavy cruisers. And they're playing really defensive in the middle. There seems to be 4 enemies on the left side fighting 3 of us. This enemy cruiser is pretty close, and the direction he's facing, I'm theorizing that I might get an opportunity. So I checked my range on my torpedoes. It's not really good. It looks like the enemy might have accidentally killed one of their teammates. I've never seen -1 listed. So yeah, they're down. But that enemy cruiser chose to go away, so I'm running with the situational awareness perk, so I will know whenever I'm... There you go, spotted. So this enemy cruiser is a little too close. I just send shots since I'm visible. You're not hiding that you're here if you're already detected. When I pop smoke, I'm also running the perk that allows you to have 3 more smoke charges and a faster rearm, so it's very effective. Initially, smoke feels like almost an emergency. It's just the cooldown's so long and charges are so few that it's you really need to conserve it. Now, a lot of destroyer guys don't conserve their smoke. You should only use smoke when you're detected, or in a scenario when you will be detected, or a friendly that you need to keep alive. I'm not going to be detected until I come around this island, because every other ship is either out of line of sight or too far away. And so, the strength of the US destroyer is taking out other destroyers. There's nobody in the game other than a US destroyer to deal with you. Japanese destroyers have no way of fighting you in a head-on fight, because your guns are so much better and you just wipe them out.
Enemy destroyer foundered.
So, we're up 5 kills. It's 4 to -1. And it feels good. It feels like we're gonna win this. We've got the middle pretty much locked up. They finally take out that destroyer that was up by the enemy base. And I'm thinking to myself that that's an isolated battleship, and there seems to be a cruiser that I might have an advantage over on the west side. And I think he's going towards this direction that me and this friendly destroyer are going. There's smoke right now. You can see the haziness, obviously. And kind of like World of Tanks, if you fire and you're a set distance away from the smoke, it's as if they couldn't see the fire itself, so you remain hidden. I don't know the exact distance, but it's... Anyone who's played World of Tanks, there's a set distance you need to be away from bush in order to stay hidden while firing behind the bush. So yeah, this cruiser, for some reason, is coming over. Maybe he feels like he can take out the enemy destroyer, or the friendly destroyer that's in front of me. And I'm using HE, I just don't have the penetration. And taking out modules really hurts the enemy. The friendly destroyer dies. Didn't even see what killed him. So I'm feeling a oh shit moment. Everyone's hidden. Maybe this cruiser will pop up. Yep, there he is, there he is. Press X real quick to get him main targeted, use the indicator, and then turn, and I'm gonna pop my smoke. And because I have that perk, I'm able to do this. He's a Japanese cruiser, so he sends out torpedoes. Or, no, he's not a Japanese cruiser.
Destroyed an enemy cruiser.
Anyway, he sends out torpedoes, and I avoid him from a destroyer. And I feel like that's what he wanted to do. Whenever you see broadside, you know, you just gotta feel. When people want to drop the torpedoes, they sail very predictable. They will sacrifice their safety to, you know, send out their torpedoes. So you just need to read your opponent. So I see that there's a friendly battleship fighting an enemy battleship. They're isolated. I don't want this cruiser to help them out though, and I would say, after I check his helm, okay, so he's got an advantage over the friendly battleship, so I want to even those odds. And you don't usually want to do this. You don't want to engage an enemy battleship like this, but because he's already engaged on a target he feels like he can kill. This is what the US destroyer was made for. You want to harass. And I'm hoping I can do module damage to reduce the damage he can do to my friendly, or light him on fire. And if I was better at aiming, I would aim for his turrets. I think, months, years, I think you're going to have a higher expectation of where you can place your shots, taking out the enemy's ability to do damage. But yeah, he's taking fire from 3 ships. We're got the DPS going. Just trying to keep my guns on target. He's close enough to the friendly battleship that they're doing broadside, which I might add is pretty badass to watch. Just seeing 2 great dreadnoughts just going at each other. Boom, boom, boom. We're doing module damage. We're just trying to get him. I'm trying to help. Oh, he kills that friendly battleship. But we've gotten the advantage. We worked on his health. They're bringing it back a little bit. See, I switched to AP just to see, and it's like nothing. You really need to do HE. I'm very curious with 3.1 if HE is going to be borderline OP for destroyers, especially US destroyers. Because they're going to buff the damage potential it can do, just in general. So these 3-400s are probably going to be like 5-600s. And they won't be able to destroy modules as easily as they do now, but I think the damage potential buff will be more than adequate. And this guy's barely alive. It's really important that you have good aim if you're going to use a US destroyer. A friendly could take a shot, but they fire at such a slow rate that the enemy might move so much that it's harder to land your next shot, follow-up shot. So it's really the US destroyer's role to finish off enemies when they're low like this. And he does a big salvo. I'm just hoping my friendly can stay alive. And I'm trying to kill him before he kills him. Missing a little long. You can see the arc on these shots. This is just really far for this tiny gun. Oh, he's so close to dead. He fires at me. Oh.
We've destroyed an enemy
I destroy him, but he tried to kill me. He landed just short, most of them. Land a couple shots on this cruiser. This is a Cleveland. They're so dangerous. So I pop my smoke. And again, I'm really holding on to smoke until I have to use it. I see a lot of newbie destroyers that pop smoke as they enter a cap region, even though there's no way the enemy can see them, or they'll sit in their smoke. They won't move. And I think that's a mistake too, because if you watch the smoke, you can see where it's coming from, and you can infer what your enemy's going to do. And I'm just, this is worthless. I'm hoping, the thought process is, he's going to continue on his path towards me, and he's going to cover that ground where the torpedo will die before it hits the mark. But he turns. I don't know. Maybe he saw me put him in the water. I don't know. Yeah, I'm behind the smoke. I'm firing. He can't see me. Friendly lands a big shot, and this is a kill still.
Enemy cruiser sunk.
So we killed that cruiser. The other enemy cruiser's pretty low. He's in range. So I'm setting him up, trying to do damage. Maybe kill him. We're tied, 3 ships left each. Now, granted, I probably am worth less than, cruiser or battleship, but we take out that cruiser, so I only have 2 left. you don't know where they are. I don't have any mods installed like Warships in their last position, but I know my goal is to get to their base. It's not going to really matter. I mean, the game's over. But, you know, this is an example of basically the U.S. destroyer in a nutshell. It's just, its guns are so great compared to the U.S. destroyer that you need to be on anti-destroyer duty, and you also need to assist in finishing off targets, or helping DPS targets that are already engaged with a friendly. And one thing I really enjoyed about this game, after the fact in these last few minutes, is just how friendly everyone was about the game. And you really, I don't understand when you play a game that you don't find enjoyment out of it. You need to have those positive vibes, man. And you need to channel enjoyment, fun. You know, keep people excited. Don't be a negative Nancy, and you know, don't assume everyone's cheating. Don't be one of those guys that just yells aimbot whenever they take damage. You know, look at what you did in the battle, or you know what your friendlies or enemies did. You know, analyze it and treat it as a learning opportunity, and you'll have a much better experience with any game. But yeah, hopefully with 3.1, they will be able to put in the first steps to get rid of any mods that might assist you in aiming. And I'm really excited to see what the armor changes do. I'm excited to see the battleship line for the American. I'm also excited to see the Japanese carriers. I've been playing carriers a lot, and I'm trying to understand their role and make my skills better for the team when you're using a carrier, because I feel like a carrier has so much potential, and it also is one of the highest learning curves, especially as you go up it. You know, at the first carrier, I think you start with 2 squads, and then a Japanese carrier, for example, with a captain spec'd out to have 2 additional squads, could theoretically have 8 squadrons you have to maintain. I mean, that's just insane. You gotta keep track of all of that and fight a battle. I mean, it's an exciting opportunity for anyone who's played RTSs in the past and enjoys that kind of gameplay, because that's really what carriers are about. But U.S. Destroyer, as you go up the line, their guns remain awesome. They gain the range that Japanese destroyers have. Their only weakness is they're a little bit easier to spot, the destroyer themselves, than the Japanese. But once you get over, probably like I'd say 3, 4, 5, 6, where the torpedo range is like, you know, under 4 kilometers, then you start having a destroyer that I can do something with. So that was destroyer gameplay of Tier 6 U.S. Destroyer. If you guys enjoyed, I'll catch you guys next time.